Hey, welcome to the Nitpick, where I take a TV show or a movie and I watch it and make various little comments. So I'm trying something new and we'll see how it goes. And if you want to see more, shout out. If not, tell me to bugger off. Let's get started with the Rings of Power episode 1. And straight off the bat, we have a pack of elvish kids acting exactly like human kids and bullying the outsider. This is not a good start. And we have to have focus on this special blade, so we will use it to do this mundane thing that we could have just used our hands for. This whole scene makes zero sense. It's not profound. I mean, it's pretty obvious which way's up. Kudos to the CGI team though, this looks spectacular. Absolutely love it. For background, I think this one's up on the Jackson trilogy. It's absolutely spectacular. Not situation appropriate attire. That orc's eye shine is pretty damn cool. Safety rope saves lives. Finrod's dagger's uses. Lifting paper out of water and pointing to places on a map. Convince the leader to go home after you've climbed the big ass mountain. Search for a hidden fortress in the darkness. In a snowstorm. Dialogue so bad. These costumes are terrible. Galadriel's eyes. They obviously hat tipping to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is a bit weird because they said they were also trying to move away from that and not to compare the two, so which is it? And now I foresee continuous in your face symbolism, just in case it doesn't hit home. What is the point of even having followers when you can do everything by yourself? And I just saved you all from that bloody snow troll. And this is how you repay me, you ungrateful bastards. That was just the intro. Oh my god. I don't think anybody has ever described a halfling as dangerous before. This is completely impractical, but it looks cool, so we'll let it slide. The big folk aren't even over the hill yet. I'm pretty sure they'll hear that. Okay, stop and pause time. This scene really bugged me the first time I watched this. Why on earth would a migratory species as the Harfoots, who have zero contact with the outside world, have a written language? And on that term, how come they have paper? How the hell do they produce it? This is so ridiculous. Even in the Lord of the Rings time, hobbits rarely wrote. The fact that they have a written language and these are people who are not settled and have had zero contact with the world, this is probably the one thing about the Harfoots that annoys me the most. I loathe this. Harfoot nitpick 2. Where do they get their clothing from? We finally get a scene that feels natural and happy, and we're seeing life in the Harfoots. This is quite nice, this little bit. I'm pretty sure that's actually a drop there. I take that last bit back. This is not nice. Okay, I like that randomly carved rock. Just like how the big folk hadn't gone over the hill yet before they blew the whistle, I'm pretty sure that wolf would have seen them. Can I live here, please? The Elf Lord's only club. Just taking it in. That's spectacular. Short hair is a no-no. Also, he's got a face of a dwarf. Dialogue sin. Stop treating your audience like idiots. Even Elrond agrees she's a bitch. Who built this farm? And where did they go? It seems to me all they do is worry. Not according to episode 3, continuity isn't Amazon's strong point. Elrond is no elf lord, but he writes speeches for them. $1 billion, and what does that get you? Plastic armor. Galadriel's eyes. Why are they color-coded? Do elves have a car system? This looks a lot like tyranny. Is it just me, or does these clothes have dwarven ruins on them? Next nitpick, the fireworks scene. I absolutely hate this scene. I mean, it looks beautiful, it's spectacular, the effects are fantastic, but we're also 3,000 years into the past, and everything feels the same as when Lord of the Rings is set. Amazon has done a fantastic job at designing things, but I don't think they've well thought out just the sheer amount of time that has passed and how everything feels exactly the same. Nobody has moved forward not culturally or not aesthetically, not pretty much not in any way at all. It is all stale and it is frozen in time. And they had all this money and this is what they came up with, just a generic Lord of the Rings ripoff. This is what this feels like. It's not bad, it's not good. It just is. This is strangely morbid. In case you didn't realise how important Finrod's dagger really is to Galadriel, let us show it again. Even Finrod's morbid tree statue has his stupid dagger in it. Am I supposed to laugh at that? Holy shit, Amazon's elves actually mutilated the trees. Don't you mean Morgoth? Please put me out of my misery. Am I the only one who hates how he says her name? What you were before Amazon decided to butcher you. I could be very wrong here, but I always got the impression that the southern lands were the Mediterranean / Middle Eastern sort of lands within Middle Earth. So how come it looks exactly like the British sort of area? And why do these villages look an awful lot like Bree and those lands? How come nothing has changed? What does this even mean? And I have a lazy eye. This sounds very offensive. Really? You resorted to Dragon Age slurs? Where all the other elves either look or acted too human, Arondir actually feels like an elf. They've done well with him. He's a bit boring, but then again, so was Legolas. Some nice set design. Though I like Arondir as an elf, I can't say the same about his armour. Why would they put a face on it? It just feels creepy to me. So basically, elvish healers make shit to make them feel good. While everywhere feels like it's the same place, these two actually feel like they might be from a warmer land. It's a shame they didn't design the rest of the southern lands a bit like that. And we've returned to elves behaving like humans. You didn't have to go there, but you did. Worse yet is that you set up this romance from the word go. Whooshing wind. How did they make that ladder? Why does a shitty wooden outpost need floral decoration? Did the elves grow bored over the 100 years watching the place, so they decided to make it a little pretty? Why are these elves so racist? What have they done to improve relations with the locals? All I see is a military force. There doesn't seem to be any investment into improving the lives of the people. Maybe they spent time actually being a part of the community instead of being their overlords. The people might actually welcome them. But no, instead we just get racist elves. Just stopping here to remind you how human the elves look. Not Arundel, that other guy. Also pointing out how freaking ugly that armour is. Do not put faces on chest pieces. Not like that anyway. I don't think they're mice. Audible sigh. I don't have anything to say. I just want to point out how bad this is. And also how bad this is. And given in hindsight, this doesn't even make sense. And watch how the cunning man manipulate the woman. Imagine if they actually sat down and told her of their visions instead of tricking her. But Amazon needed a reason to get Galadriel to Numenor. So instead of actually writing a well thought out story, they just thought they would just chuck in this trick. And that's Elrond's storyline. This is all storytelling 101. Very generic, very linear. All the characters are very predictable. All their struggles are predictable. And more human-looking elves. Human-looking elves everywhere. Actually, I think half the elves would have made good dwarves. Why is this guy so damn mean? Bad physics. Bad. Bring back Rayleigh's scattering. Get your creepy face armor out of here. And while you're at it, get your crappy romance out of here too. $1 billion plastic armor up for sale on Amazon soon. He might have a mullet, but he's kinda hot. She can't take her knife into Valinor, even though her brother had it when they were living there. Damn, this scene is good. Wait, they take off their armor and weapons to get into Valinor, but their armor and weapons are in the ship that's going into Valinor. Yes, it's called buoyancy. Look, there's a baby ant. Oh my god, it's so draggy. Hurry up already. So she plans to swim all the way back to Middle Earth? That's not very smart. This has to be the dumbest scene I've seen in a long, long time. But on the upside, we don't have to worry about her anymore because she's dead. Subtlety is not Amazon's strong point. Phew, lucky this guy had fireproof underwear on. Not gonna lie, that looks cool. Final thoughts. Not particularly great, but not bad. I would say pretty much smack bang in the middle. 5 out of 10 rating. Obviously, the CGI and the sets were top notch. You know, nobody was gonna doubt that. If I was gonna have any quibs, the elves didn't really feel like elves, except for what's his name, Arundel. Is that his name? He's the only one who felt anywhere near what an elf should feel like. The others are, in their actions and in their appearance, I think they felt more human to me, and some of the actor choices, though the actors themselves were quite good, you know, I feel like they all miscast. They would have been better off as humans or dwarves. I had a lot of trouble with Galadriel as a character. They've thrown in the typical character development arc, very one-dimensional sort of thing. Here we have a character who's over 2,000 years old, and she acts like a petulant, angry, rage-filled child. They only did that so they could grow her into the wise, kind Galadriel that we all know. That's a failure to me. They don't need to have character development for every character. It doesn't look like they're going to do it with Elrond, so why are they doing it with Galadriel? I also find the fact that we are 2,000 to 3,000 years in the past, yet everything feels exactly the same. Nobody has progressed, nobody's evolved, everything is the same. The show also is as subtle as a brick. There is absolutely nothing left to the imagination. It feels very American to me, and I'll probably upset Americans saying that, but the British have always, with their entertainment, they've always been the champions at subtlety, unless you're Monty Python or something. The Brits, they're always quiet in how they do things. Where Americans show power through force, the Brits show it through a passing glance, and I think that's part of the problem here. Nothing is subtle, everything is in your face. You've already heard all the remarks about all the problems other people had, and I agree with them too, but I'm not going to repeat them. But I think that's the big reason why this is failing for me personally, is that this does not feel like a Tolkien story to me. Originally I was saying this is pretty much fan fiction, because that's how I approach all TV and movies based on books nowadays, whether I like it or not. I first come into it going, okay, this is just fan fiction, this is corporate fan fiction. With that attitude, I can enjoy things I might not enjoy. But I haven't really enjoyed this, even with that attitude. And I think the difference is, it's not actually fan fiction, because for it to be fan fiction, the people who are behind it need to love it. And I don't feel that. I feel this is just a job for people. They got writers on who are just ticking boxes and creating the standard hero's journey. I don't feel the characters, I don't feel the friendships, I don't feel much anything at all. And I've already watched into 4 episodes. There's a few exceptions, but mostly it's flat. Everything is from A to B sort of thinking for all the characters, and all the side characters are just that, they're side characters. They don't actually contribute in any way. So I don't call this fan fiction. Instead I call it corporate fiction, because that's what it is. This is not designed, this is not made with the loving heart of a fan. This is made with the cold calculating gaze of an all-powerful and very money-laden corporation. That's as simple as that. I mean, I know people enjoy it, and that's theirs to enjoy, but to me, it's okay, and that's it. Alright, so if you want me to make more of these, shout out and I will. Otherwise, I might just do 1 or 2. I would like to do the originals, the original movies. I did them, I rewatched them recently and I enjoyed them, but I am a nitpicker at heart, even if I love something, and there's definitely things in that irritated me as well. But the difference is I also loved it. Alright, so that's me out. See you later.